So in this video, we're gonna take a look at 4 men, all guys that I've personally known, and these will be stories of what could have been, because each of these men, they were on the verge of realizing massive success and reaching their goals, but ultimately it never happens, all because they continued to believe the 4 big lies. And I'm doing this, I'm telling you these stories because I do not want the same thing to happen to you. So before I shit on some of my friends and other men that I've known, let's start with me. Number 1, the happiness lie. So for most of my life, I optimized for happiness. I tried to do things that would make me happy. And that's a good thing, right? Like I'd wake up, maybe wake up later without an alarm clock, because that made me happy. You know, have some sugary cereal that tastes delicious for breakfast. Back in university, for example, I would skip class unless I absolutely had to go, but then I could stay home, play some video games with my roommates. That made me happy. Then for the end of the day, I'd probably go play some pickup basketball. I love playing basketball. And then we'd wrap up the night by getting high or drinking some booze and going out with my buddies. And it's funny because objectively, I spent a larger percentage of the day being happy back then versus now, but I don't think it would surprise any of y'all that I still felt like a complete piece of shit back then. It's almost like even though I was very happy, I wasn't happy with myself. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that as men, more than anything, we want to be respected, right? Women want to be loved, men want to feel respected. And the way we generally find that respect is by doing things that make us valued or useful to other people. It's why, like, if you and your buddy are walking down the street and you see a girl struggling to get a heavy suitcase up a flight of stairs, both of y'all are gonna jump to be the one who's like, oh, don't worry about it. I got that. I'll carry these suitcases up the stairs for you. You're not doing that because it makes you feel happy to lug some suitcases up the stairs. You're doing it because in that moment, it's gonna make the girl value you a lot. And that's gonna make you feel important. Like we just moved into this house and Julia was up there in one of the guest rooms trying to put this IKEA nightstand together. She was struggling with it. And as soon as I realized, I put down all my work. I got up and I was like, don't worry about it. I'm here to save the day. I got this. The point is, don't fall for the happiness lie. Whenever we do something because it's gonna make us happier, almost always it leads us down the wrong path. Y'all saw a couple years ago, we made the decision to move from Texas to Spain. That was primarily because of happiness. The weather was better. We were by the beach and the beach clubs. And guess what? My life was happier there. But ultimately, we had to come back to Texas because it did not take us down the right path. Life here in Texas, and I'm not shitting on Texas. I love living here, but it's not as happy as Spain was. However, I can be a lot more useful and get a lot more shit done here. So what I challenge you to do, and ultimately this is the thing that changed the course of my life, is to stop focusing on happiness. Tell yourself, I don't give a fuck about being happy anymore, and instead, just focus on learning as many new skills as you can learn and focus on improving all of the skills that you're learning. That's what led me down the path of YouTube. It was a new skill to learn, a new challenge to conquer. I was able to improve my skills as a video editor, and that was a big motivation for starting the different businesses I've started. When you focus on learning new skills, by definition, you're gonna become more useful and more valuable. That's gonna make you a lot more attractive to women because they value men who are getting more shit done. That almost always leads to making more money. The more skills you learn, the more value you're gonna be to a company or for your own business. And no, you might not be as happy at the end of the day, but you're gonna be a lot more satisfied with yourself. Number 2, the Ozempic lie. So a lot of y'all have probably heard of this drug, Ozempic. It's a weight loss drug. When you take it, it changes the chemicals in your brain so you feel more full. And there's all these crazy transformations of these fat people who took Ozempic and then really quickly they got not fat. But at what cost? Because of course this thing is toxic to your body. There's all these side effects like nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. It's messing you up. So a lot of people, they say,
I'm gonna take Ozempic, I'm gonna lose the fat, and then I'm gonna get off of it.
And then what happens? The chemicals in their brain go back to normal, and then they all gain the weight back. They go from being fat to not fat to back to being fat. And the interesting thing is that every single company or product or service in the entire world, they use the same Ozempic principle to sell their products. They essentially promise the consumer that our product or our service is gonna get you, the fastest results or the easiest results while putting in the most minimum effort. Of course, I'm guilty of this too. You take our pre-workout, which is the best formulated pre-workout in the world. It's gonna allow you to make faster gains in the gym. Humans are some lazy motherfuckers. Anything that's gonna allow us to get there faster or easier, I'm in. I'm down. I can Uber Eats a pizza. It'll be here by the time I'm done filming this video. We just moved into this house. Like I said, we've been getting Amazon packages coming in every day. We think about something we need. I hit a few buttons. Boom, it'll be here tomorrow. Have y'all seen these Facebook ads for these shirts targeted towards fat guys? I don't know why I'm seeing these, but it's like the shirts are gonna make you look like you're jacked because they're gonna hold in your belly fat but make your arms look huge. You don't even have to lose the weight, bro. You just gotta buy our shirt. And I know you're thinking, David, I understand that there's no shortcuts in life. I gotta put in the work. But still, the Ozempic lie will fuck you without you even realizing it. So back in 2020, there was the big crypto boom where everything went to the moon. I had several friends who became millionaires basically overnight from investing in the right coins. Then, of course, a couple years later, everything crashed down. I know that Bitcoin's gone back up to the moon, but there was a lot of altcoins that went to zero. There was a lot of crypto exchanges where you weren't actually able to withdraw your money. They got shut down. And I had several friends who went completely broke. And one of these guys, before the crypto money, he was on the same path as me and a lot of my entrepreneurial friends, putting in work. He had already grinded up his own business. Then he made all this crypto money. Then he lost it all, and he never bounced back, man. He never went back to trying to start his own business. Well, he did, but he didn't have the same work ethic. Then he, got a basic, hourly paying job. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he was living this baller lifestyle, millionaire, and it all evaporated, and he never bounced back. And I know the crypto bros are gonna hate me for this one, but this is why you should never, ever, ever even hope that you get rich quick by investing in the right crypto coin and become a millionaire next week, or that the perfect girl just falls into your lap and you start dating at 10 out of 10. Because here's the thing, if you didn't actually put in the work and develop the skill set that would allow you to reach that goal again, if you lost it, you're gonna be shitting your pants the whole time, afraid that, oh my God, I gotta check the crypto exchanges because if it crashes down, I'll lose all my money and I'll be broke again. Or you're gonna be afraid that, man, if I fuck things up in this relationship and I lose this girlfriend, like this was luck. I'm not gonna be able to meet another girl like this. You're not gonna have any peace of mind, bro. And then what's it all for? For a while after I started making money, I was shitting my pants, afraid that I could lose it all. I don't have that fear anymore because I've now, predictably, year after year, increased my income, started new business ventures. If God forbid something was to happen and my wife Julia evaporated out of thin air or something happened between us and next week I woke up single, guess what? I wouldn't have to hope that I could get lucky and find another girl. Like, I've put in the work, I've built the skill sets, and I can actually enjoy these things because I have peace of mind that it wasn't luck. Now, another big lie, and this one is gonna hurt some feelings. Some of you guys aren't gonna wanna hear this, but the toothbrush that you're using is not getting the job done, man. And that's why I decided to partner with Laifen to be the sponsor of today's video. So what you're looking at right here is my new toothbrush, the Laifen Wave. And this thing is the future, man. You see, dentists recommend using the Bass brushing technique. It's the most effective technique. And when I turn this on, you'll see it oscillates back and forth 60 degrees while vibrating at the same time, and it allows it to accomplish that technique with ease. And on top of that, this has 0.02 millimeter soft tapered bristles, which essentially means this has softer bristles, but because it has stronger power, it's gonna allow you to get an effective clean without destroying your gums. It also comes with a powerful app that allows you to easily customize the vibration strength, oscillation range, and oscillation speed to your exact preferences. It even comes with 3 different heads, each of them for a different purpose. The purple one I got here is for extra whitening. Look, there's no need to spend over $100 to get a top tier toothbrush with all the latest innovations. Click that first link in description to get the Laifen Wave now. You can even choose from different colors. By clicking my link, that will make sure you get the best offer possible. Don't sleep on your oral care. Click that link, grab yours today. Number 3, everything is fucked. So back in my early YouTube days, I had several other friends with YouTube channels, and all of us were basically on the same level. We were putting in work, we were growing together, we were all starting to see momentum, and then one of them, he got a copyright strike against his channel. He used like 5 seconds of footage from someone else's video. It was stupid in one of his videos, and it got taken down. And then, of course, his views dip down afterwards. That's what YouTube does. If you don't play by the rules, the algorithm will penalize you. I've had this happen to me many times. And he started getting really frustrated. Like,
fuck this, man. Why am I even putting in this effort to make these videos? YouTube's not showing them to anyone.
And I can resonate with that pain. I've been there. But unfortunately, he got so demoralized. He stayed consistent for another couple weeks, but then he got so pissed off, he stopped making videos for a month, and then he came back, but the consistency was never there, so his channel never bounced back, and ultimately it just died off. He fell for the lie that we tell ourselves that everything is fucked. And it reminds me of another guy I know who was working a regular career job, and then this opportunity came up where there was this golf range, this driving range. Now, you can tell I don't play golf. There was a driving range that the owner put for sale at a very low price. And my friend was like, you know what? I'm going to buy that. I'm going to do better marketing. I'm going to add indoor golf. I'm going to take this thing to the next level. But then during the due diligence phase of the deal, it came up that the owner had not been paying all of his property taxes or something, so the deal couldn't go through. And obviously that's an unfortunate situation, but this guy also fell for the everything is fucked lie, because he didn't like try and work through that obstacle. He didn't try and find other land to build his project. He just went back to working the same job he didn't want to work because this one thing didn't work out. Everything's fucked. I guess I'll just give up. You know, when we launched Gains Club, my supplement brand, at first it didn't go so well. We launched the pre-workout and the protein powder, and we were still in the red after like 6 months. We didn't make back the initial investment. And I kind of started thinking, man, everything's fucked. What's the point of doing this anymore? But I did not give in to the lie. And this is just to show y'all an example of when you take a breath, you take a step back, and you start to think, okay, how can I pivot to find another opportunity so that I can keep moving this project forward? And that's when we came up with the idea of Greens Plus Test. It's an organic greens powder with some natural testosterone boosters in there. And this shit has been selling faster than we can keep it in stock. It revived the brand, and now we have a path forward. If you want to achieve anything in life that's difficult, if you want to start your own business, guess what? Your expectation needs to be that there's going to be bumps in the road and there's going to be obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. You can't think everything's fucked and give up. Realize the average time it takes a business to be profitable is 2 to 3 years. That's because the average business has to work past a few of these big roadblocks before they finally figure out a strategy and a plan that works. Yes, sometimes everything is fucked, but guess what? That just means you need to unfuck it. Number 4, the sunk cost fallacy. So I got another friend, and hopefully I have more than 4 friends. They don't know exactly who I'm talking about. I do, guys, I do. And this friend, he's in a relationship, 4, 5, 6 years into the relationship. And on the surface level, there's nothing wrong with it. But if you put it under, not even a microscope, if you just put it under, you know, the 5x zoom on my iPhone and look a little bit closer, there's trouble in paradise. So first of all, he wants to have kids. She doesn't want to have kids. And that's like a structural thing that's not going to change, right? Like that's a problem. Also, there's some other things. For example, she likes to travel a lot with her friends, not with him, and it drives him fucking crazy. And from an external perspective, y'all are already probably shitting on him in the comments, like simp, beta, she's cheating on him. And, you know, maybe the traveling thing they could figure out. But the kids thing, they're probably not going to figure it out. From time to time, I'll ask him, you know, what's the situation? How are things going? And he'll just tell me, yeah, man, you know, I don't know. I still haven't, you know, figured these things out, but we've been together so long. We've been through so much together. Maybe I'll break up with her eventually, but not right now. But if we're being honest with ourselves, we can all relate to this because humans, we have this tendency. This is something I learned about back when I was getting my economics degree in university. It's called the sunk cost fallacy. And whenever we invest a lot of time or energy and money into something, we have a bias not to want to waste that investment. We don't want to give up on this thing because it would be a waste. You know, after I graduated university, I studied economics, but also computer science, and I started working as a software engineer. And as soon as I got that first job, I knew that I hated it. I hated going in, sitting at that desk for 9 hours a day, you know, being around people who I didn't really relate to. Sure, it was a challenge and I could level up that skill, and I tried to focus on that, but I knew I wanted to leave. However, I told myself, bro, you can't leave. Like, this is your career. The last 4 years, how much time and money and energy did you invest into learning this shit? How many jobs did you apply to before you got this? And you're gonna walk away from it? You can't walk away from it. You can't do that, bro. Now, obviously, at least for those of you who follow the channel, you know that when I finally quit that job, I worked up the courage, I walked into the boss's office and left. That was the most important day of my life because that led me on the path to where I am now. You know, getting 1.6 million subscribers on YouTube, running multiple 7-figure businesses. None of this would have been possible if I didn't overcome that sunk cost fallacy. Now, if you're in a situation like this right now with your job or your girl, what works for me is to tell myself, and I know this to be true from my experience, even if I walk away from this, it's not all a waste. Like, I learned some valuable lessons and got some valuable experience here that are gonna help me in my next job or my next relationship. For example, my computer science background, that made it very easy for me to pick up video editing. And it made it very easy for me to build my first few websites for my first few businesses back when I was strapped for cash and I didn't have the money to hire someone to do these things. I was able to get those things off the ground only because of the previous experience I had. It was not all a waste. It's not a waste, bro. But what might be a waste is if you waste the next 3 years staying in a situation that you know is not ideal for you and is slowly eating away at you. and killing your peace of mind. Now, if you're serious about taking your life to the next level and you're ready to put in the work, then you need to watch this video next. It is about how to keep improving as a man. In that video, I go through the daily routine I stick to make sure that I keep increasing my level no matter what. Click there to watch that now. If you're new to the channel, click down there to subscribe, as I release 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.